About me, I am Sandeep Bhushan Thummala, and my credentials are I have 8 years of teaching experience for civil services. I teach international relations, internal security, and in-depth analysis of Hindu editorials and articles along with the contemporary issues. The reason why we need to go ahead with in-depth analysis, why I go ahead with concentrate or make the students understand that it is important is because it is the editorials and articles which gives you a comprehensive understanding of any topic. It could be any topic, any subject. So it is imperative for you all to understand the articles that is emphasizing on the keywords which will be very useful for the prelims and also for the mains. As I've seen that my experience which I have in regards to writing exam when I was an aspirant, and then I could not clear the prelims. I could not make up to the interview because the reason is because there was no one to guide us that how we need to actually follow the editorials and articles, wherein it is very important in regards to having a comprehensive understanding about the answer writing techniques. So these are very important in regards to understanding the editorials and articles and the importance of editorials and articles. And this session is in regards to how to crack prelims 2020. But prior to that, I would say hi to Venetia, Advait, Saurasri, Datta, Vag has joined, Jahnavi has joined. Everyone, I would say good morning or hi to everyone. And now we will get into the topic, that is the session is in regards to analysis of editorials and important issues. So can anyone, before I get into the topic and the one who have joined, what was the topic we have discussed yesterday? Because Rajput has joined. Hi to him. Can anyone please comment in the box that what was the topic we have discussed yesterday? MP lads, yes. So definitely we have looked in regards to the Consolidated Fund of India, MPLATs, and also in regards to the Act, which Act, that is Salaries, Allowances, and Pensions of the Members of Parliament Act 1951, and then again in regards to the amendments, and also in regards to the Contingency Fund, Consolidated Fund, and Public Fund. So we will look at today's editorial. For the first time, I think like I'm going ahead with the editorial, today's editorials itself, because today's editorial is a, what do you say, a session which is an extended session of what yesterday we discussed about in regards to the MP Lab. So when it is in the editorial, definitely we need to focus on the news that is in regards to the MP Lab. So we will look at what the the editorials, today editorials talks about, and why is it important that we have to focus on that, and how we can try to take the maximum, what do you say, the keywords from the editorials, and then make sure that it will be useful for the prelims analytical and also for the mains point of view. So today, this is today's editorial, which talks about, very good morning, Venetia, Sayandeep Dalapati, Hina has joined. Hi to everyone. So yesterday we did discuss at length in regards to the MPLATs, and today again it is in the editorial. That is the editorial, the heading of the editorial is for better use. For better use. So what is the use? What is that better? What is that it is better? And for whom it is better? We will look at it. And is there anything that there is any kind of, what do you say, some measures or suggestions or criticism or challenges in regards to all this? We will also look at, because these are the areas we need to focus. I mean, you need to focus as a civil servant aspirant. So we will look at this today's editorial, and then just I've gone ahead with, what you say, a college that is in regards to the MP lads, wherein in this you have the construction, because we were talking about local area development yesterday, and we have the road building, and then we have the taps or providing, what you say, pumps, and then drilling, and then you have the temples here and also hagaras, And then in regards to construction, that is again, I mean, these are all the what is required. What are the essential, the local area, what development has to be done. And then in regards to the water, and then toilets, and then also in regards to the works, libraries you have here, and all these are the ones which are, what do you say, the development activities which are supposed to take place. And if they are existing, then any kind of, what do you say, maintenance or further the kind of, what do you say, requirements what are to be taken up in the particular area. So that is in regards to the MP labs I've taken. And this is also one I have taken a photograph wherein this is a school building being constructed with the MP labs funds of Mr. Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar, Honorable Raj Sabha member from 2015, I mean in the year financial year 2015-16. So this one, because when we look at, yes, these are the constructions, I mean these are the development which takes place because or through the MP LAT scheme, and we have seen the what is a playground also. So this is what the government, that is Union Cabinet, has taken a decision yesterday that they would suspend the MP LAT scheme for 2 years, and wherein we have seen that the amount that is in regards to 7,900 crores would be added or would be, what is it, put in the consolidated fund of India. Now, before I move further, I would ask the, what do you say, the one who are listening to me, and I mean who are part of the course now, that how far this is correct. Do you all say that is this correct? Or else do you agree or disagree to it? What do you say, MP lads being suspended for 2 years, is it correct or is it wrong? If it is correct, how it has to be, and if it is wrong, why? Please let me know before I get into the, what do you say, the topic, the editorial itself, explanation about the editorial. And Kumar has joined, Chetasvi has joined, Let's Crack has joined, Reshma has joined, Rakesh has joined. Hi to everyone. And I'm waiting for you all that whether the MPLATs, good morning, Chesasvi, whether the MPLAT suspension of the MPLATs is, what do you say, you feel, you as a civil servant aspirant, you feel whether it is correct. If it is correct, how? If it is wrong, how? Please let me know. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Venecia, Wag, Saurashri Datta, Advait, Chetasvi, Hina, Let's Crack, Reshma, Rakesh. I'm all waiting from you that whether this scrapping or the suspension of the MP lads is appropriate. Is it correct? Is it correct? Please, I would wish you all to, what do you say, be part of it. I'm asking you that whether it is correct or whether you support it. If you support, why? If you do not, why? That's it. I mean, even if the answer is, if a question is for the males also, it is up to you. You can write, you can support it, you can, what do you say, you can say no. But how best you substantiate your statement is very important. How best you justify your answer is very important. Okay. No one would wish to, what do you say, answer to that, or fine, I will go ahead now. Noxula joined and Rabindra Behra has joined. Hi to them before I get into the explanation of the editorial. Today's editorial we are talking about, sir, will you conduct MCQ? Advait is saying, okay, he did not get the question. Okay. No, I'm asking like yesterday the Union Cabinet has decided that they would suspend the, or they have suspended the MPLATs for 2 years. Do you, what do you say, agree that suspension of MPLATs is correct, or you say no? Is it correct or no? And Advait is asking, sir, do you conduct the MCQs? Yes, I would. That is in regards to the quiz. I would do it at the end of the session. Manorama Zala has said, good morning to you. No, 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 no. Okay, Chedasmi says no, Advait. Oh, most of the people are, you're not for it. Very, very, very surprising. I actually was thinking that you would all say that, yes, it is good. I mean, suspension is good, but okay. Chetasvi, Venecia, Wag, Advait, Kumar Saurav, everyone, oh God, everyone says no. Okay, fine. Now we will look at what the editorial talks about. How the editor is trying to what is a focus in. And then how best it's nothing wrong in saying no. You can say no, and also you can also substantiate your answer saying that yes, I feel no because of so and so reason. Nothing wrong in it. If you say yes, you substantiate it yes. Fine. Okay, I'm in the class. Samrudh Hastak says I'm in class 4. Oh, class 4. Okay, Chedasvi says, what's your opinion, sir? Okay, last is Chedasvi is asking me. Definitely, my session is that my opinion. I'll get back to you. So now we will go to the main point of this. But before class 4, when you say this, Samrudh Hastak, when you say class 4, is it fourth standard? Fourth standard. That is third, fourth, fifth standard. Okay, Samruddha says no. Okay, fine. Samruddhi, I would wish to know that your which standard is it really? What you say? You're uh, in the fourth standard of the school in the school. Okay, fine. Which place? Which place? I mean, which area? I mean, which part of the country? Which state? In when I'm saying which place, it's which state? Which state is that? Sumthana. Sumthana. Which state? Samruddhi. Okay. Now probably Samruddhi will be keying in. Now we will get into the main topic. So as we all know that MPLATS is the one which actually provides or gives the MPs the funds wherein they can go ahead with uh, implementing or go ahead with the local area development, or all the one which are going ahead with the local area development, they can try to what you say go ahead with pumping the money into the development activities. So for that it is very important that the money has to be what you say with the people in the sense extremely sorry with the member of parliament, so the public representative, the money has to be so it gives a scope for the MPs to utilize the funds, because there is the MP can go ahead with supporting or aiding the development activities in his or her constituency, wherein the developments activity are supposed to take place only when the development activities take place. That means the growth of the nation take place. So definitely the growth of the nation does take place from the village level, that is from the panchayat, sarpanch levels, and then in regards to the assembly levels, that is MLA, constituency level, and then further into the what do you say an MP level. So thereby again what happens is the entire growth of the nation or the development of the nation takes place because of the funds being allocated by the assembly, that is the MLA, like member of legislative assembly development scheme. Also you have legislators scheme, and also in regards to the you have the funding from the MPs, that is MPLAT. So the money which has been allocated by the government, that is the central government, that is the Lok Sabha, and also by the legislative assemblies to the legislators and to the MLAs, are the one which are really in regards to making sure that they are the one is that they are the one that they are what you say trying to go ahead with the developmental activities. So this money is actually what you say going ahead with better performing of MPs to fulfill whatever the needs of the people of that particular constituency are, and that this money will actually what you say give them a kind of what is a sympathy kind of thing or empathy, wherein they can go ahead with talking to the people, and then whatever problems they have, the constituency people, they have the problem when they come up to the MP. So definitely the MP, he or she can go ahead with the empathy, and then they can go ahead with spending the money for the development activities. So this, as we have seen, this transfer of money are from the to the consolidated fund of India, and this suspension of the what do you say MPLAX, wherein they have gone ahead with, they would be providing it for the to fight against the COVID-19 is a step in right direction. This is as per the author. That this means this is as per the editor. So editor says that suspension of the MPLAX for 2 years and the amount that is 7,900 crores of rupees. Okay, Samrit is actually what is putting in a point that which class is that? This is no doubt, there is nothing that you, I mean, you do not know. It is for everyone. I mean, you can also be part of it. It is an, what do you say, a discussion which is happening in regards to the today's editorials, which is important for the political analysis point of view, and also in regards to how the MP can go ahead with allocating the funds. That is, you have the MP lads fund. Nothing to worry, Samrit. You can be part of it. Nothing to worry about it. In fact, I feel very happy that you are getting into the mode of preparation right from the fourth standard. I really, what you say, salute you. And the one who have all joined, I would say big hi to everyone. And then as per the editor, it is that the suspension of the MP lads is in the right direction. Maximum allocated to each MP is 5 crores annually. Ganesh, it is 5 crores annually. And this would definitely boost the health infrastructure. So as per the editor, as per the editorial, it says it is in the right direction, and it would boost the health infrastructure. That is the kind of health infrastructure, the health system what India is at this moment right now is not that too impressive. That means it cannot afford the way, it cannot afford the way the, if the pandemic affects or the most of the infected person would be growing in number, so our health system or the health infrastructure is not in a position to handle them. That is why the national lockdown has been taken up, to make sure that we would have some kind of, what is a bargaining time to counter the infections. I mean, to spread, to make sure that to break the chain of the transmission of the virus SARS-CoV-2, and then we can make sure that the health infrastructure can be slowly, what do you say, expanded, so that we can try to handle the situation properly and to combat the pandemic. Okay, Vinicius sir, so if MPLAX is redacted, what if an emergency development is required in a particular constituency? Where will that money come from or from? Yes, you are putting a. That is what I was actually waiting for when I was asking, or I was waiting for almost, what you say, 5 to 10 seconds. I was actually wanting to know what kind of, what you say, the thinking capacity is going on within you, sir. So if MPLAX is redirected, what if an emergency development is required in a particular constituency? Where will that money come from? Yes, very well asked, and we will, what you say, look at it. When you say, we will definitely look at it. And then it is not the first time the government or the union government has come up with the making a statement in regards to the MP lads, because it is a second announcement. It is not the, what is the first, wherein suspension of the MP lads is not the first. It is a second announcement that the center has come up to how to handle the COVID-19 or the disease outbreak. So last month, if you look at last month, probably nobody have actually, what you say, put a thought in regards to the MP lads last month. So last month, the government has allowed the utilization of MP lads at least rupees 5 lakhs. That means each MP across the country can utilize the MP lads of rupees 5 lakh. Why? To purchase medical equipment for government hospitals. To purchase medical equipments for government hospitals. So everyone who have joined also, now again, I would say a big hi to them. And then the suspension of the MP lads is not the new statements. The suspension of the MP lads is not a new statement, or the government making up the statement is not new, because it is a second announcement, wherein this first announcement was in the, what do you say, in the month of March, wherein the government has come up with saying that the MPs can go ahead with using 5 lakhs rupee each MP for what? Not for the development activities here, to purchase medical equipment for government hospital in their constituency. So what are the medical equipment what the MP can go ahead with purchasing in regards to the kind of epidemic what or the pandemic situations of the COVID-19? So that is in regards to the N95 masks, personal protective equipment, and the ventilators. Please do understand the way the government was preparing, the way the, yes, very good, Chetesvi is saying, yes, the way the union government or way the government is actually preparing the MPs and the entire, what do you say, the country, because we didn't know. I mean, people who have been reading the news or following the news might have understood this, but it's a step in regards to suspension of the MP lads for 2 years, that is 7,900 crores, which would be again allocated or put in the consolidated fund of India. If you look at this last month, that is in the month of March itself, the government has asked the MPs to utilize 5 lakhs rupees to purchase the medical equipment, that is N95, personal protective equipment and ventilators, not for the individuals, for the government hospitals. Please do understand. Again here, the government union cabinet has said or directed or instructed each and every MP to go ahead with spending rupees 5 lakhs to make sure that medical equipments are being provided or they are insufficient, at least insufficient, that they are in the or with the government hospitals. So look at the way the slowly the government was actually preparing the MPs also. Please do understand the point here, because this is what the analytical point of view. When you look, when you thoroughly understand the editorial, you will have a better as understanding about how the government functions actually, how the government functions and what are the various methods or the kind of what you say the point the government is actually putting forward. So everyone who has joined now also, I would say a very big hi to everyone. And we are talking in regards to the MPLATs, wherein sir Telegram link, yes, I will. Naresh Chaudhary, I will. And then, sir, tell me how much decrease their salaries. Salaries, okay. Chandru, probably you were not been part of the my class yesterday. Each MP as per 2018 salaries, allowances and pensions, Member of Parliament Act 1951, and that is the act, and then the act was amended in the year 2018. In the year 2018, yes, Naresh, Naresh, I will. And in 2018, the salary was increased to each MP only salary of 1 lakh apart from the allowances. So from 1 lakh, the government or the union cabinet has decided 30% of the 1 lakh will be, what do you say, cut and will be used for the COVID-19. So this is in regards to the Naresh was asking how much percentage it has been decreased. So it is 30%, as I've discussed yesterday and I've explained now also to you. And then the past experience, if you look at the past experience of the MPLATs, many of the what you say MPs did not utilize the fund which is actually allocated to each MP for going ahead with the development activities in their respective his or her respective constituency. If you look at, they haven't gone ahead, because this very clearly shows that how far the MPs are really worried about the development activities in their respective areas or respective constituency or respective what is it districts, as the past experience shows that they do not utilize their full entitlement of the rupees 5 crores, the recent one 5 crores rupees, wherein annually they are being given to the political means in regards to the way the government runs. Samruddhi Hastak, that the politically means the way the government runs and the way the government is making the development activities to go ahead with providing some X amount, that is 5 crores of rupees annually to the each MP. And there is a gap, definitely there is a gap between the recommendations made by the members and implementation by the administration. So whatever the recommendations are made by the member of parliament, because yesterday I was saying, I have emphasized a line saying that close, I mean the MPs will have a close association or close tandem with the district collector. I said choice, I've used the word choice because I've used the word choice. And then that is what a gap is happening. And if there is no gap, yesterday I was emphasizing on this, if there is a better understanding between the member of parliament and the district collector, or else in regards to the one who is administering it, please tell about IAS. Jisha Prashant says, please tell about IAS. Oh, please let me know what is your doubt. I didn't understand it. Please tell about IAS. Jisha, please let me know in clarity that what do you mean by please tell about IAS, so that I can try to answer to your question. And as there are gaps in regards to the MPs and the administration, that is in regards to the how the development activities have to be what you say framed, and then how it has to be executed and implementation. as there are gaps between the administrator, that is it could be the commissioner or it could be the district collector, and then between the MP. So that gaps have actually made it through the past experience that the total amount was not fully utilized or the entitlement did not take place. Please describe UPSC. Describe in the sense, are you talking about the explanations? The one who have joined now, all everyone, hi. And now we will look at, as I've asked the, what you say, many of you have said that the decision taken by the, or the suspension of the MP lads is not a right decision. Many of you said no. And now we will look at the political reactions to the MP lads. We have seen the reaction from the class, and now we will look at the political reactions, how the, what is it, how the various political parties and political leaders have reacted to the suspension of the MP lads. So many of them are having a disenchantment, that is, they are dissatisfied or they are unhappy over the suspension, because this would actually be a source of many of the MPs who are actually having a goodwill for elected representatives. Yes, Chandru is saying that if there is, what is a better understanding between the MP and the district collector, automatically the district will develop. That is what I was saying. I was mentioning here the past experience, because there are gaps between the recommendations made by the members and the implementation of the administration. When this is not in tandem, this is not in, what you say, conjunction, this is not going very hand in hand, then there would be a possibility that the amount will, because there would be a deadlock between the both the member of parliament and the district collector. When there is a deadlock in the sense there is no solution which comes out. So when there is a deadlock or when there is no solution, definitely the works will not take place. When the works do not take place, then the money is not, what do you say, utilized properly. All MPs get 5 lakh for development. No, 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 no. It is 5 crores annually. And then what we are talking about is the last month, wherein the government has said that the MPs can take rupees 5 lakh, not for the development, 5 lakhs to purchase the medical equipment for government hospital because of the COVID-19. Because of the COVID-19, not all MPs will get 5 lakh for development. All MPs will get 5 crores of rupees annually. Annually, 5 crores of rupees for development activities. Advait Gotre says, sorry sir, I'm wrong in giving the answer. Okay, no problem. So, and the other, because many of them feel that this is a source, because there are MPs in India who are really, what you say, for the development of the area, development of the district, development of the constituency. So definitely for them, that 5 crores rupees corpus fund is a source wherein they can prove themselves that they are right in regards to making the area developed. And you have a theoretical flaw, a conceptual flaw, which is actually now coming up, which says that now I get clear with my doubts. Okay, thank you. And then Ashwini, Sabia, Fatima has joined. Everyone who have joined now, I would say again hi to them. And then there is one political reaction which says that there is a flaw which has been pointed by the experts. What it says is it is against the separation of power. This is very, very important. The one who have said no is also right. The one who are saying yes is also right. But what is the point we have to look at from civil services point of view, from prelims and also from the mains point of view, is that few of the experts feel that it goes against the separation of powers, because when the center is saying that I will suspend the MPLAT scheme, but what will happen is actually states are also being affected. How the states will be affected? Because the money the MP gets through the MPLAT, that is 5 crores of rupees, wherein the particular district, village could be developed because of the through the 5 crores rupees. So it is against the separation of power. Both positive and negative are there, but I think yes for suspension. Okay, never mind, never mind. See, that is what I'm saying. It's all that how you go ahead with your thinking capacity. It could be plus, it could be minus. You could always write your answer for and against. There's nothing wrong in it. You can write for in the mains, but you have to substantiate how you are saying for. If you are saying against, you have to substantiate why your answer is against. Nothing that you have to be yes or you have to be no. No, it all depends how you think and how you can substantiate, how you can, what is it, justify your answer is very important. And for that justification, the editorials and articles understanding, analyzing is very important. That is a key when you're writing an answer, and that is a key wherein you will score more marks in the mains examination. The evaluator will get a thorough understanding about you, that you have your own analysis, you have your own answer writing. That is what is important for you, I mean, as civil servant aspirant, to score more marks. Better is to be that state your own thoughts in exam. Yes, that is what you put in your views and justify your views. That is very important. Justifying and substantiating your view is very important. And hi to everyone. And others, experts also say that it is a weak monitoring. That means probably, what experts also say is probably the suspensions shouldn't have taken place. Please do understand, suspensions shouldn't have taken place, but it should have been continued. But more of monitoring has to be done, or a vigilant, or what is a practical scientific monitoring should have been done to restrict the money, that the money is happening only for the development. So in this case, when it is in regards to the COVID-19 or health infrastructure, so there could be a strong monitoring which could be done by the ministry, which I have said yesterday, implementation of the ministry, so that the money can be allocated properly. As they have said that rupees 5 lakh to each MP to purchase only medical equipment for government hospital. These kind of, what you said, directions or the instructions, if the union cabinet is being put forth to the MPs, then the MPs are ought to follow at this time. That is the pandemic time. So the monitoring should have been a strong monitoring or a practical or a scientific monitoring at this time, so that the separation of power, that is the MP lakhs, shouldn't have been, I mean, cancellation or the suspension wouldn't have gone against the separation of powers. And the experts say that it is a weak monitoring. That means only suspension of the MP lakhs doesn't mean that you're having the total control over the money. No, something else might happen. We will look at it now. That is what is analysis. And the Supreme Court also, please to understand here, the Supreme Court also, while declining to strike down the scheme, it is also declining to for the strike down of the scheme. It is calling for the robust accountability regime. This is very important. It should be a strong scientific and rational monitoring. At the same time, the Supreme Court says that it should have been a robust accountability regime. That means whatever the implementation is being, the money is being spent for the developmental activities by an MP, has to be accountable, has to be checked properly, that the money is going to the right area for the right development. And that is what the Supreme Court has said that. And then now, what is the point here is the government should also see that the allocations are non-discriminatory. So because now the money which is totally for the 2 years, it will be 7,900 crores of rupees with the central government, which is, according to few experts, it is against the separation of powers. It is, what you say, a weak monitoring. And then the Supreme Court also calls for a robust accountability regime. And what the editor is talking about, what the editor says, when you see, I will definitely go ahead with that. I will go ahead with that. Once I'll complete this line, and I will go ahead with that. I will explain that. And the government and many of the, what you say, politicians also say that the government should see to its allocation. What allocations? That is in regards to the 7,900 crores what the government has now. It should be allocated in a non-discriminatory manner, because entire money is with the central government now. Consolidated Fund of India, wherein the Consolidated Fund of India can be used only by the authorization of the parliament, in the sense, undoubtedly it is a government of the day. So when the allocation do take place, allocations should be non-discriminatory. This is very important when you are trying to analyze or emphasize the keyword non-discriminatory, which will be a better answer in your mains. Okay, if MP lakhs used in purchasing medical equipment, then there where all the underprivileged will go. Okay, here in this case, here in this case, yes, what you said is Hina is right. But what the emphasis at this moment, the government, the need of the hour, what the government has understood or felt is, first is the health. First is health, because pandemic has, the COVID-19 or SARS-CoV-2 has attacked, or it is infecting many of the people. So, you have raised the point, underprivileged persons. Yes, definitely the underprivileged, and then the vulnerable sections, or the daily wages, or the migrant workers, when they are, what do you say, suffering with the illness or some kind of symptoms, they will definitely not approach the private hospitals or the, what do you say, clinics, but they will approach the government hospital. That is what is important. When they are rushing towards the government hospitals because of the infections or the symptoms of COVID-19 or SARS-CoV-2, then the government hospitals have to be equipped with the medical equipment, that is in regards to the N95, and also in regards to ventilators, and then the protective equipment. For, it could be for the patients, the one who are affected or infected by the virus, the one who are having the symptoms, or else it could be even for the, or doctors and the medical nurses and the frontline health staffers or the workers, and the one who have all joined, I would say big hi to them. And then I think my explanation in regards to Hina was talking about, what about the underprivileged? At this moment, the underprivileged, or what do you say, the migrant workers, are the one which will be, or they are requiring now, is the medical treatment infrastructure, because the government knows well that the health infrastructure has to be improved, and they have taken the decision in regards to the public health emergency, that 5 lakhs have to be used only for procuring the medical equipment. And in regards to Venetia was asking about separation of powers means what, sir? Venetia, can I please ask you a point, that have you given an attempt, have you gone ahead with prelims once? It is not just, what you said, I'm asking something different. No, why I'm asking is because my explanation would be in that regards. Okay, very good, first attempt, no, fine. My explanation would be taking into consideration that you haven't still, what you say, given an attempt, so I will try to, what you say, little bit elaborate. Separation of powers, now the, or else when the Narendra Modi has taken, has been, what do you say, assumed, he has taken over as the Prime Minister of India in first phase, or else in regards to the 2014, and also in regards to the now second term, first term and second term. If you look at, his emphasis is in regards to, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi's emphasis is in regards to the cooperative federalism. I'm using this word, cooperative federalism. What is federalism? Federalism is that union of states. Yes, that is, the center and states have to work in tandem. The center and states have to work in tandem, because the center has to make sure that they will provide the necessary requirement to the states, and then the states also should work in tandem with the center. So it is a union of states, with a center being, what do you say, with the center as a strong, with a strong center, with union of states. So what the Prime Minister of India has said is, it would be cooperative federalism. That means the powers of the centers would be also given to the powers to the states. No doubt you have, what do you say, subjects. You have state subject, you have union subject, that is a center list, union list, and also you have the concurrent list. But when it comes to the powers, what the states have, the powers have to be, what do you say, given to them. That means there should not be a strong force by the center on the states. So separation of powers is there. So here, when we are talking about the separation of powers in regards to the MP lakhs, wherein the separation of powers through suspension of the MP lakhs is been curtailed. Please do understand, the separation of powers in specific to the suspension of MP lakhs, it is been curtailed. it is been curtailed. I'm saying curtailed in the sense it has been, what do you say, stopped. Why? Because that money, 5 crores of rupees annually, that money can be used for the development of the particular districts, constituencies of various states. So what happens is the states are developing. The point I have made earlier, when the districts or the, what do you say, the sarpanches, the village level, and then the district level, constituency level develops, only then the nation develops, I said. Now when the suspension is been taken up in regards to the MPLATs, so definitely there is, what do you say, the separation of powers. It is against the separation of powers. But what I would say is, at this moment, what is important, what is imperative is public health is important. Please do understand, public health is important. So the development can be stalled, can be stopped for some time temporarily, because if the development is stopped for temporary or for, what do you say, for some time, it doesn't make really lot of impact onto the people. But if the loss of life is going on, that is the people are dying, then it is a greater impact. So at this moment, the prime importance or the imperative or the urgency is that keeping aside the development activities, I mean money allocated to the development activities, and using the money for the public health, for the health infrastructure, for protecting the lives of the people, that is for the entire 1.3 billion crores, 1.3 billion people. So that means the action taken is right. But again, if you look at in regards to the practical or conceptual point of view, it is against the separation of powers. I would say hi to everyone. I suppose Venetia has understood. There are 2 points. You can say yes, it is against the separation of power. But I'm also making a statement, giving an explanation, saying that at this moment, the need of the hour for the government is to understand the lives, or to protect the lives, or to save the lives. So when to save the lives, that money is supposed to get into the consolidated fund of India by suspending the MPLATs for 2 years, temporary. We never know whether it would continue or it is temporary again, that get back to the, what you say, normal position. We never know. But at this moment, for our discussion and for you, when you write an answer, you can justify it saying that conceptual idea, it is against the separation of powers, because the cooperative federalism is not taking place at this moment, because the center is very strong now. Please do understand, in regards to the suspension, the center is strong now. It is not the union of states, it is the union of states with the center being the strong, or center is the strong now. So center can take decision for the welfare of the people, or welfare. Here when I'm talking about welfare, it is the protecting the lives of the people in regards to the pandemic. We can go with both of yes or no when we answer the question. Probably you go ahead with one, yes or no, one it's better, and whichever you have more points to justify or substantiate, go ahead with that. And the conclusion you can say, Hina, conclusion you can say that even this is right, that is right. I mean, suspension of MPLATs is good because of so and so reasons. Suspension of MPLATs is good when there is, what do you say, the allocation of funds is made non-discriminatory. So when you are concluding the answer, then you can go ahead. And now, Venetia, but okay, there is again a point made here, Venetia, but we can't speak against the government schemes in exam, right? So that is what I'm saying. Justify it, substantiate it very practically, rationally. That is what I'm saying. Separation of power, when we are saying, it is a conceptual based. But at this moment, what is important is protecting the lives are important. When I'm saying protecting the lives, yes, the government, the central government has a right to make sure that it suspends the scheme and then use that fund for the health infrastructure. Okay, so we have to say yes, yes, in a very, very, very balanced approach. What happens is, Venetia, and to everyone I'm saying, while we talk, it's different. While we discuss, is different. When we debate, is different. when we get into an argument, it's different. But when we are writing an answer for UPSC, it should be entirely different. Wherein you should write an answer as if you are an bureaucrat. No inclination to any kind of prejudices. There should not be any room for prejudices. You should write an answer as if you are a bureaucrat, taking into consideration of the people, taking into consideration of the government, because the government takes decision. Generally we feel that governments take decision for the welfare of the nation. Here in this case also, you can say it is correct saying that it has taken the suspension of MPLATs is for the welfare of the nation, for protecting the lives of the people, for improving the health infrastructure. Why I am saying the word that improving the health infrastructure is because I've said it earlier. I'm reiterating my statement. What the government of India spends for the health infrastructure is only 1% of the GDP, wherein Modi, I mean our Indian Prime Minister, has promised that by year 2025 it will be increased to 2.5 percentage of the GDP to allocate to health infrastructure. But at this time, because of the pandemic situation, loss of lives, and then greater importance for the health system to be catering to the health system, even 5% is very mere. Please do understand. Please do understand. 5% is also not sufficient. 5% allocating 5% of the GDP is also not sufficient at this moment. So when you know all this in your mind, when you know the health system, when you know the allocation of funds to the health infrastructure or the health system, comparing it with the GDP of the nation, and then comparing the GDP, I mean how much percentage to the GDP of the nation, and again comparing it with the health infrastructure of USA. US allocates 10% of its GDP to health infrastructure. Please do understand. US allocates 10%, and that 10% at this moment is also not sufficient to handle the situation of the pandemic in US. Please do understand the way we are linking it at very greater levels. That is how the UPSC civil services preparation has to be. We are linking it with the health infrastructure with just 1% to 2.5%, and then the 7,900 crores allocated to the health infrastructure, and linking it with the US, which is of 10%. And even now, US President Donald Trump has requested initially, and then later on he has forced initially to supply the hydroxychloroquine anti-malarian drug to US. That means how difficult it is to handle the situation, that is pandemic situation. Even a country with 10% of the GDP allocating is not in a position. So we can write all this in the answer and make it very impressive, that it is not an answer from any of the material. It is your own understanding, it is your own analysis, it is your own answer. That is what is the importance or greatness about the editorials and articles understanding. But we do need we need to do. Okay, we need to understand the editorials and articles properly to pick up the keywords, key phrases, which will be very useful for the prelims and also mains point of view. And then now we will look at, and then whoever I've joined now also, because I'm totally was engrossed in the explanation part, I would say hi to everyone now. And then now we will look at the criticism against MPLATs. Now probably who all have said no, I mean you are not happy with that, also will have an answer here. That there is lot of criticism. When I'm saying criticism, it is a persistence criticism. That means each and every time or each and every year there is lot of criticism against this scheme itself, MPLAT scheme, because the scheme's nature itself is not correct. Many of them say, because there is no, as the Supreme Court was saying, there has to be accountability regime. As many of the experts were saying, you should have a strong monitoring system in regards to implementing them. So those are all not into action actually while the scheme is being implemented. So there is lot of criticism, persistent criticism against the scheme itself. And then CAG, Comptroller and Auditor General. What does this CAG do? Anyone, can you please answer? And then whoever all joining now, everyone to everyone, again I am saying very big hi to all. What does this CAG do? What is the role of the CAG? Comptroller and Auditor General. The answer lies there. Audits and accounts, financial, yes, yes. Checks and balances of government expenditure, guardian of public purse, absolutely right. And then this CAG has flagged instances of the way it goes ahead with what it goes ahead with the checks and balances, or it looks into the accounts or audits the accounts. It says that there is lot of financial mismanagement. Why I'm saying criticism is because there is lot of financial mismanagement. Whatever the money has been allocated to the MP, probably we cannot point fingers at the MPs when we do not have, what do you say, a solid proof. But as per the CAJ, we will talk about it, that many of the MPs or few of the MPs or most of the MPs, they are not, what do you say, showing the amount what is being allocated, how much they are spent, and what is the balance. As someone was talking about checks and balances, very good. So there is a financial mismanagement. So you can take this as a keyword, financial mismanagement, and there is inflation of amount spent. That means if an ex-MP has, out of 5 crores, if the MP has spent in a year somewhere around 3 crores or 3.5 crores, but it is inflated in the sense it is shown at a higher rate, higher spending. They have gone ahead with the higher spending, and then they might, what do you say, show the bills for almost 4.5 crores to 4.8 crores or something. So inflation of amounts is taking place. That is why there is persistent criticism against the MP lakhs itself, as there are financial mismanagement and inflation of amounts. So these keywords are important. Why I'm saying is, when you in your answer, if this word is the keyword financial mismanagement, take it for granted, you will get 1 or 2 marks added. When you are writing the amounts, the bills are being inappropriate. If you are using the word bills are inappropriate rather than when you use the word inflation of amount spent, again 1 or 2 points, 1 or 2 marks, you're into the kitty bank. Okay. Yashwant has asked me what is the meaning of persistent criticism. So what is criticism? Criticism means, okay, the one who have joined now, before I get into the explanation, the one who have joined, I would say hi to everyone. Tetesvi says negative. Yes, I always, for example, I don't do that. I don't do that, but I'm just saying for a better explanation. I ask a question and you are answering, you're keying an answer. And whenever you key an answer, I am negating that answer. Please understand. Negating in the sense, I'm saying, no, this answer is not right. Again, you key in one other answer. I'm saying, no, this answer is not appropriate. It is wrong. So what am I trying to do? I'm trying to criticize your answer, criticize your, what do you say, your mindset, your thinking, your attitude, disadvantages. Okay, I'm criticizing it. So I'm repeatedly saying no. So when I criticize, what is happening is I'm always saying that you are wrong, you are wrong, your answer is wrong, your answer is wrong, your thinking capacity is wrong, which is not correct in regards to me, what you say, criticizing you. So that is what criticism. And then repeatedly I'm criticizing your answer. That means repeatedly is persistent, repeatedly criticizing. And there could be two kinds of criticism. One is negative criticism, the other one can be taken as a positive criticism. It always depends upon the person who is, what do you say, criticizing, and the person who is accepting the criticism. It is a different level of understanding. Criticism is that, persistent criticism is that. I suppose Ashwani has understood this persistent criticism. And then in regards to criticism also, the second ARC, that is Second Administrative Reforms Commission, whoever are have completed the portion, if they are going ahead with even in regards to quality, and then whoever are interested in public administration, you will have this point, Administrative Reforms Commission or second ARC, second Administrative Commission. So this commission has also recommended, what it has recommended, it is not just financial mismanagement and inflation of amounts. It has very clearly said that you abrogate altogether. That means you scrap this, you scrap the MPLATs itself. Second ARC, this could be again a very probable analytical question in the prelims. Please do understand. This could be a probable analytical question in the prelims. What second SRC has recommended in regards to the MPLATs, which among the following are the recommendations by the second ARC in regards to MPLAT scheme or MPLATs. So you will be given statement 1, statement 2, 3, 4, or statement 1 and 2, and then the answer could be statement 1, statement 2, statement 1 and 2, or none of the above. So it has recommended the abrogation of MPLATs altogether, completely. Abrogate in the sense cancel it, scrap it, highlighting the problems of the legislator. Here the point is again the legislator. You have the MPLATs, you have from the MPs, you have the MLA also, member of legislative local area development scheme. Please repeat this point again. Which point? Abrogation. Okay. Second ARC has recommended that the MPLAT scheme has to be cancelled or it has to be scrapped completely. Why? The reasons. Because it has highlighted the problems of the legislators stepping into the shoe of the executive. That is what we were discussing that yesterday also. Close support with the district collector, I said yesterday. MP having a close support with the district collector, I mentioned yesterday. I still remember the statement. And today I was saying again, having the development activities, making sure that there will not be any kind of gap between the member of parliament and then the administration. So when there is a gap, definitely the functioning or the development activities will not take place. Not only that, the legislator, that is the MLA, is repeatedly entering into the executive zone, which is not right. Because many a times there would be a deadlock between the public representative and the executive. Please do understand here. Again, in regards to the public administration or in regards to the polity prelims point of view, please understand this point. What I am raising here is in regards to prelims polity point of view, and in regards to mains, the mains paper 2 in regards to the governance. Paper 2 mains governance, issues in governance. What are the issues is in regards to the developmental activities because of the MPLATs and MLA lats, wherein the MPs and MLAs should not interfere into the executive. They should just come out with the action, the plan, and the execution will be taken up or the implementation will be done by the executive. But when the public representative or people's representative is interfering into the implementation and the execution of the developmental activities, then there would be a problem, and that is a problem which is persistently being taken up by the or the executive is experiencing it, and that is why there are gaps. Because of that gaps, there is a deadlock in the developmental activities. When there is a deadlock in the developmental activities, that means the amount spent, the MPLATs amount, that is in regards to the 5 crores annually, is not spent completely. And then when it is not spent, then the area has not been developed. And then again, who is the one who is at the receiving end, who is not getting the actual benefits from the government or from the legislative assembly legislator or from the MP? It is the people who have voted, or it is the voters who have voted. I would say hi to everyone who have joined now. And this is very important when I'm talking about in regards to the issues in governance in mains in paper 2 and then in regards to the polity in prelims 2020. And we would conclude this by saying the current suspension gives some scope for reconsideration of the scheme in totality. What did you understand? The current suspension, that is MPLAT suspension, gives some scope for reconsideration of the scheme. That means, is there a need, sir, do vice president gets salary as vice president or ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha? What is the difference between vice president and then the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha? What is the difference? Pradhan has asked, P. Pradhan has asked, sir, do vice president get salary as vice president or ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha? Ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha and the president, the salary is in regards to the vice president. The salary he or she gets in the capacity of the vice president, but he acts as the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. And this conclusion is ex officio chairman salary. IAS says that the current suspension gives some scope for reconsideration of the scheme in totality. That means there is definitely reforms to be taken up in the MPLAT scheme itself. The need of the hour is reforms in the MPLAT scheme. So there could be a question in the prelims analytical and also in the mains, wherein the question could not be on the suspension of the MPLATs, but the question could be on the reforms. Is there a need of reforms? Is there a need of reforms in the execution and implementation of MPLAT scheme? So everyone, I mean, all the civil servant aspirants would be focusing on the suspension of MPLAT scheme for the prelims or for the mains. But the UPSC will focus on the reforms, the need of the hour, reforms to be taken up in the execution and the implementation of the MPLAT scheme. So this is very, very important. And the one who have joined after, what do you say, the prescribed limit, I would also say hi to everyone. And then now you have understood that how we have to focus on the editorial and how many how many keywords, key phrases could be mentioned, not could be, it will be mentioned in the editorials, wherein it is the responsibility and the duty of you all as a civil servant aspirants to focus, emphasize, and pick up the Sakshi. I will definitely give tomorrow. Definitely. And a couple of students have also asked, definitely I will give you the link, definitely tomorrow. Shruti has joined. I would say hi to Shruti also and to the one who has joined now. So it is very important for you to identify the keywords, key phrases for the prelims and mains. And when an aspirant is able to identify these from the editorials and articles, take it for granted, you are definitely going to clear prelims and also mains. There is no doubt about it. But what is important is your strategy in regards to how you focus the newspaper. That is the editorials and articles. That is in regards to the editorials and articles. And then Shruti has what is put a very wild face, wild figure emoji. What does it mean, Shruti? Before I conclude this session, can you know what does it mean? An emoji, whatever you have gone ahead with the emoji, what does it mean? So yesterday's MPLATs, about MPLATs, about the salaries, about the Consolidated Fund of India, articles related to that, and then Contingency Fund of India, again articles related to that, public accounts, again articles related to that, and again today in regards to the political reactions and then criticism, and then in regards to how the conclusion, that how best we have understood in regards to analytical point of view for prelims and also for the mains point of view. And then Noor has just joined. I would say hi to Noor, and Akash Vardhan Vardawar has also joined. Hi to them. And sir, can you please suggest books to refer for better understanding of international relations? Yes, I would first, no, Pradhan, have you started preparation in regards to the international relations? What I would request you is initially go ahead with the, reading the newspaper in regards to the business or international page you have, and then slowly go ahead with taking up the international books, which would be the basics, like it could be Shashi Tharoor's book or Economic Times. Okay, someone is saying Economic Times. Pradhan, I would say first focus the Hindu editorials or any newspaper which talks about the basic international relations, and then make sure that you go ahead with basic books like you have the Pax India, Shashi Tharoor, and also you have the other books which I will definitely refer to you. Once you go ahead, and do not read more books, please. I'm telling it very clearly for the civil servant aspirant. Reading more books doesn't really fetch you anything at this time, because UPSC is not wanting you to become a research or a scholar. UPSC wanted you to have the knowledge wherein an civil servant aspirant possesses or a bureaucrat possesses. Nothing more than that or nothing less than that. So we have to fix it, that how best we can use this period. If you have allocated 1 to 2 years of time, so you can fix that 1 to 2 years of time, and then please do not, what you said, read many books. Read the books which are pertaining exactly to the syllabus, and then picking up how you can, what do you say, identify the questions in the previous year question papers in regards to prelims and mains. And then who have also joined now, I would say a big hi to them, and then I would wind up the session, and I would come up with the next tomorrow at 11 o'clock for a special class. Pradhan says, okay, Hati, thank you very much. And the one in the regards to the Telegram also link, I will definitely go ahead with providing you the link tomorrow, undoubtedly. And then please go ahead with your preparation, a serious preparation, strategic preparation, wherein you will not waste time. And a serious preparation will definitely help you how to clear the prelims and also mains. And do not get disheartened whenever you don't, what you say, understand any topic. Just relax, take a breath, or take a break for 5 to 10 minutes, come back with a vigor, come back with more of energy and steady, you will understand it. Fine, thank you, and thank you very much. See you tomorrow at 11 o'clock.